Welcome to the Something's Wrong Here podcast. I am Randy.
I'm Ken-Zee.
I'm Brian.
What?
Brian almost forgot who he was. It's been so long.
Shit. He's on the wrong side of the table tonight and everything.
Yeah, and in the studio we have back Jayson.
Yes.
What up?
To talk about what's wrong with food. And I have a feeling after the conversation that we just had before we hit record, there may be a whole pile of fuckery to happen tonight. I hope.
I don't know. We might want to change the subject of what's wrong with us.
Scrape the depths.
Based on that taco holder comment that we were joking about, I don't think you want to say a-hole back to back. I think that implies some weird stuff.
Yes, it does. I mean,
I do want to interject and say I'm very proud of myself today for not talking during the intro.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Hey, by the way, I got made fun of that, and I haven't done it since, and now these fuckers do it every time.
I wanted to, because last time you're like, oh, you're talking to that. I didn't want to so bad. I was just be like, whoa, in the middle of it, but I let it go.
I just edit over it anyways, but...
I considered making some kind of crack.
All right.
Self-control.
Speaking of cracks and holes, we were talking about...
being dudes, yeah.
We were talking about butt plugs that hold tacos. So.
Yeah.
Actually,
and they have a Jesus on them, so it's not sacrilege.
Oh, boy.
But is it sacrilege?
It could hold hot dogs.
I actually, know what? No. I believe if it's a butt plug, that's the poop hole loophole.
Ah. There's always the loophole.
Jason, after that, what do you think? Let's just dive right in.
All right.
Hit me with what your number one brain thought is when we say what's wrong with food.
Number one thought.
Yeah, like your first lightning round thought of what's wrong with food.
We know what his number two thoughts.
Fuck! Hey, we gotta start.
Got him.
No, I like it. It's good.
Yes, food does become number two.
You left it right up.
If it eats, it poops, folks. If it eats, it poops.
Unless you're modeled, then you puke.
Yeast does.
God damn it! Now we're canceled. All 33 of our viewers ever are going to be upset.
We just pissed everybody off.
Guys,
pull it together.
Let's hold this shit together for at least one more minute to see. I was stalling.
Is he dead?
Jason,
Us?
Jason,
I think so.
What's wrong with food?
God.
So much.
God's wrong with food?
No, actually,
There's an argument
no.
there.
Well, there is an argument there, actually. Oh, man. I'm going to say in our current day and age, what's wrong with food is the main fact that a lot of people have no clue where their food comes from.
Okay.
And then the things that are happening in between that a lot of people don't know anything about or don't want to know anything about.
Can we circle? We're going to go around the horn then.
So nobody...
Brian.
So nobody wants to know where the butt sausage is made.
We're coming back around. I'm going to interject here because
I mean, the people are like, it tastes good. Let's leave it.
I want to tie this in. And Brian, what's wrong with food?
Fucking food pyramids upside down. Everybody eats too many carbs.
It's fact.
Period. Everywhere.
Fact.
All over.
We're
fat as shit. As a country, we eat too many fucking carbs.
Randy, what's wrong with food?
I think what's wrong with food is over a timeline. When I was a kid, I remember if you bought milk, it expired in 3 days.
Right.
Now it expires in 3 to 4 weeks. Bread will sit for 2 months and not mold.
Long time.
There is something extremely wrong with the whole process that food can sit out for that long and nothing go bad.
That's what I was saying, is the in-between what's happening.
Can I sum it up in one word?
Jump on in.
Ignorance.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay. And the reason I said is people aren't eating too many carbs. They're eating carbs that are filled with so many other fucking things because when you go to Italy, they make bread every day.
Yeah.
And then it goes bad 2 days later.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have bread that sits in our... We don't even know. We now keep bread in the fridge because it seems to last longer.
Well, don't they eat the Mediterranean diet there, which is a lot of fish and oil?
Yeah, which they do.
Lighter. And they don't just eat fucking bread all day.
They don't eat bread all day. But what I guess I'm getting at is...
It's not processed.
That they do eat, it's... daily, it's just not the same shit.
Let me counterpoint though, okay? There is a personal responsibility element here too.
Absolutely.
You can be fucking vegan, everything, and still be fat as shit and out of shape.
I've seen some really sickly looking vegans.
Yeah.
So, Jason, tell us
Both
what's wrong with
sides.
food on your end here.
I've had people that are like on vegan, and then I watch them eat like tater tots every single day, and you're like, bro, you can't just eat tater tots. Like,
Right? Nothing but empty starch and carbs.
not going to fucking help you. I'm going to agree with that. All of that, actually, everything that everybody just said is a very valid point. From the amount of carbs that we eat to the quality of the food that we are eating. Yeah, as a chef, I try to do what I can to find fresh things and a lot of vegetables and things like that. And that's what my kids eat it up. They love it because that's how it's been since day one. Like for dinner last night, we had a locally sourced ribeye and potatoes, and I made like a cucumber tomato salad, and they ate the hell out of it. And they're 8 and 12, and they're like, dude, this is so good. And they're eating seconds, and they're all about it. And then I see the old kids that come into the restaurant, and they're like, they won't touch it if it's not a French fry.
You have to have a kids menu.
Gotta have a kids menu. And then I still have people that bring McDonald's kids meals in because their kids won't eat our food because they don't like it.
Yeah, smile and wave.
So I don't know.
And so what you're saying, though, is that a lot of our eating habits are learned, because I know me as a child, my second word was Pepsi.
Yeah.
As horrible as that sounds, my dad ate frozen pizza and Pepsi every night almost.
Holy
Right.
To throw out
how
there.
old are you?
I'm 39 now.
39. So when you were a kid, stuff still wasn't the best thing for you in the world, but even back then, it was probably a hell of a lot better for.
Than it is now? Oh, I'm sure.
That's where I was going was
so there's at least maybe sugar. back then, maybe.
even Pepsi when we were children here, everyone in this room. I'm not personally privy to it. I was a Shasta broke ass, but it was all real sugar. It was all it was soda that was terrible for you, but it was at least real.
Right. Yeah.
And now where I'm arguing is kind of where I was going with what you guys said on this, and especially what you touched on is the additives and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
And so where he was at with quality and where you were at with what's in it or where it expires, that's the thing that I think we need to dive into.
Well, we talked about it earlier, too, is like we have Coca-Cola, who makes a natural additives, sugars, everything down in Mexico. And you can get them at a lot of the Hispanic stores and restaurants and everything.
Costco, dude.
And here, it's nothing but aspartame,
Terrible.
dyes, chemicals made with...
High fructose corn syrup, dude.
yeah, exactly.
And everything. Everything's high fructose corn syrup.
All of that, if you guys are ignorant, let me fill you in. It's profit.
Well, yeah.
It's because high fructose corn syrup,
Hold on.
you can take that out of byproduct of getting what you want out of corn.
You mean businesses are trying to cut corners to make more money?
No, I'm not telling you that at all.
They're using cheaper
Hang on.
ingredients to provide this.
They're not cutting
Same
corners.
effect.
They're not cutting corners.
Choose a cheaper product.
They are legally required to put the ingredients
Sure.
and the listing on that label. Now, if you pick up a can of Coke, you turn it around and you read all of those things in your head and you realize how fucking stupid you sound because you can't pronounce half of them.
Yeah.
Who's that on?
I mean, I get your point, but I would say that about a lot. I would say that about a lot of food that's really not even overly processed.
Right.
That's still a scary
That's the
part.
weird. I mean,
That's
the
still a
gray
scary
area.
part of that.
That's a comment that weighs heavily on my mind, and I think about it all the time, is the way they got us is convincing us that we should be counting calories and not ingredients.
Oh yeah, well, not paying attention to what's going in.
That's huge. Like, as long as you look at it and you're like, oh, this meal only has 240 calories, I can eat it and it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, it's a Weight Watchers meal coming out of the freezer and is so full of preservatives and straight shit that it's not good for you.
It's not.
But you're gonna lose weight because you're basically starving yourself on a calorie deficit,
It's not nutrient.
no matter
rich food
what.
either.
No matter what the calories you're intaking are.
No, I mean, it's been proven. I saw not a study, but an article about a teacher who was eating junk food. He proved that if you monitor your calories, you can eat anything you want. But you're basically starving your body of fuel, energy, all the good stuff.
Nutrition, man. Gotta have nutrition. Gotta have fat. Gotta have salt. You gotta have all those things.
So, I know you were kind of interrupted there, but with what you just said, would the proof come out that that person was healthy or factually able to maintain weight?
I would say would factually able to maintain weight, because there's nothing about eating nothing but sugar that's processed
and that's
healthy.
Another huge lie is the fact that you have to be a certain weight or under a certain weight or you're obese. And that's a huge lie. Huge lie when you put in your BMI, your age and your height and your weight and your BMI, and they're like, you're obese. You're bullshit. Obese. You're not fucking obese. You can be healthy and thick with 2 C's. It's okay.
Can I just,
as long as you're not Lizzo thick?
She's not that thick anymore.
I know.
Yeah, she dropped some thick. She probably just like doing, what is that?
Ozempic.
Yeah, that's a whole other subject.
I'm not here to tell.
I just got off Ozempic, actually.
I'm not here to tell everyone how to live their lives or anything at all. We're going to come back to what Randy just said here for sure. But the thought process of what you said of like obese and where that line's drawn and everything else, that comes from someone who is telling you about your body, who is paid 95% of the time. That's a made up number, but I guess by an insurance company.
Probably.
Yeah.
And guess what? Insurance companies get to define obese.
We're gonna go deep here.
No, we're not, because that's not what's wrong with food. That's a different episode. We're gonna do what's wrong with insurance.
Start tying in all the things that get tied in. It's like the 4 things that get tied in that are like the major thing that control everything that we're talking about, and then all of a sudden we're off the rails on some conspiracy shit.
Going back to ignorance here.
Right.
A lot of people in the room, we'll say 50% for round numbers, don't know exactly what the sausage factory in this industry is. Now, maybe they've hunted, maybe they've killed an animal, maybe they've seen a slaughterhouse, maybe they've done that, but they don't understand after the slaughterhouse how many middlemen are involved, how many things happen. Talk to me, Goose.
You said like after it's packaged, shipped?
Just in general, like the whole... What is wrong with food for you when you were coming up with your thought process of people don't know?
Man, I can go a million directions on this. That's the problem with the question.
Oh, wow. Can anyone rephrase
While you're thinking about it, my problem with it is, like you said, the slaughterhouses, the packaging and stuff, that we are putting powders and basically making a glue out of our food and putting it together into a shape. And
binders and raw products materials.
Did you just describe Jell-O?
Dino nuggets, damn it. But yeah, Jell-O, I mean, just...
No, I mean, and that's basically, like with that, they take all the shit, basically. That's like, I mean, it's McDonald's chicken nuggets. I mean, they taste great. Every once in a while. I don't want them every day. Yeah. But when they're available, I might
ain't nobody in here denying it.
Yeah.
But when they're, you're basically taking the leftover of what got processed and sent out, so you can buy a pack of chicken breasts, you can buy some wings, you can buy this, you can buy that. They're taking all the shit that got cut off, pureeing the fuck out of it, and then they put it in a mold, and then they probably, I don't work in a factory, so I don't fucking know, but they probably IQF or individually quick freeze these things, and then bread them, and then you throw them in the oven at home, and you serve them with some ketchup, or make a mountain on mashed potatoes, and have a dinosaur apocalypse on your plate, whatever the fuck you want to do. But what else is added to that is the question. It's like, it's not like it's just chicken. There's something that's got to hold it together. It's where you're coming in with the powders and things like that, and just the random ingredients, and that's when you start getting on the back of that box, and you start getting those words you can't pronounce.
Like, really, what is breadcrumbs and chicken?
Well, that would be if you made them at home. But we're gonna make this shelf stable and last in your freezer for 2 years, right? Like, so has anybody ever picked a random ingredient off the back of one of those boxes and just Googled it to see what it is?
Yes, I have.
I actually never have, because I don't buy a whole lot of that stuff, so I don't really get into it.
It just leads you to more confusing words.
Right.
So, most recently, I had angry tears.
Like, you gotta be a physicist to decode the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, okay. It's 4 men in the room here. We're all roughly the same age. You ever had one of those moments where you're in, like, angry tears and you want to smash something against the wall, but if you do, you're gonna have to clean that shit too,
or fix the wall, or whatever,
or fix the wall,
all
or
that.
Clean and fix. Yeah, that happened to me over at Cutie and Orange, the little guys. Yeah, so they cover that shit with what they call a peel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like a peel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That.
Your
Is
insurance should cover that too for
fucking
anger
awesome.
management.
Thanks, Randy. Thank you. I
If a
appreciate
cutie
it.
pisses you off.
at my house.
Well, let me tell you this.
Wash.
When you eat one and get miserable for the first time ever, you start to dive in. And if you don't know my banana rant already,
Where did the cutie hurt you?
the stuff that they spray on the outside to preserve them.
Okay.
And
Did you eat the
Why were you
peel as
eating
well?
the outside?
you don't eat the outside, fuck nuts. Come on now.
I was hoping
Why are
you
mad
didn't.
at it?
To-
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you should have
because I
peeled it
can't-
off and threw it away.
I get the allergic reaction because I'm the weirdo, and I know
yes,
it.
Okay.
Yes.
But I also can't eat bananas in this country. That's a whole different tangent. I
Can you
know.
eat bananas in other countries?
Yes, I can. And that's the part that people go, wait,
We're
what?
genetically modified and all
No, no, no.
that
How-
stuff.
let me ask
Can
you
you
guys a
eat other
question.
foods shaped like bananas in this country?
If you're asking about your wiener, I'd love to talk about it.
We're talking about hot glizzies again?
We're talking
So,
about
something else.
Oscar Mayer? Are we talking about Nathan's or
How many banana varieties do you
Jason.
Gotta
guys
be
know?
Nathan's. Gotta be Nathan's.
How many banana varieties do you guys know about in the United States?
Chiquita?
That's Brad.
There's probably not a whole lot of varieties in the United States.
One.
Yeah, I'm never
That's
differentiate
what
like
I
they do
mean.
with
I haven't
apples,
dug
so,
into that, but I'm imagining just from
One.
life.
It's the Cavendish banana. And I know people that are close to me that can't eat them and are allergic to bananas too. And I know that I am miserable every time I eat them, but they're one of my favorite fucking flavors.
Are
It's just
you
one of my-
allergic to ragweed?
I am.
That's because they're the same. Molecularly, they're very similar.
Yeah, so
They slightly affect me. If I eat a ripe
now,
green one, ears and throat.
for a small tangent, we're not going to dive into the full-on
I had a
thing
banana
here.
this morning and it went down great.
Or
If they're softer, they're fine. I don't have any problem. It's only when they're ripe, like super green.
Why is the Cavendish banana here? Why is that the only banana people have?
Because it doesn't have seeds in it.
No.
Easy to grow, doesn't have seeds, doesn't go bad.
No, it
Last
was
on
because
shelf.
they had a plague in the banana trees of the Gros Michel, and they found out we could.
Why is Michelle gross?
But
No, I'm serious. Where is Gross Michelle? I don't.
That's just the name of a banana.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of a banana.
Gotcha.
And when that banana tree basically got infected, just like anything, like a pandemic in the United States, it spreads, right? Mm-hmm. So it spread. And then they went to England and said, hey, we left y'all, we get it, but you guys still have science a little bit ahead of us, so like help us out. We need a banana for our place.
Look us up.
So at that point, Unified Fruit Company, there's a lot of dive here, and this is a dive that's further than food. This is food. This
so
is
much about bananas.
Yeah, no shit. This is.
Yeah, well,
I
if
asked
you-
a lot.
if
I asked
you
about a lot of topics.
Let me ask you a question though. All right, fuck my banana rant. Let me ask you a
I think
question.
that's interesting.
If
It is interesting.
If you ever traveled somewhere and you saw something and you looked at the person you love, I don't care who they are, what color they are, and you said, holy shit, I'm going for it. It sounds too good. And it's based off of a food you can't eat at home because of your allergies. And you realize at the age of 32 fucking years old,
Yeah.
you can eat bananas, just not at home.
I didn't realize I was even slightly allergic until I was 40. Like, I really never put two and two together because I normally, if it was a green banana with the, a barky, like, peel, I just wouldn't eat it because it's, like, bitter and it's not sweet.
It doesn't taste good anyway.
But then it got to the point where, okay, this thing's been in a paper bag for a couple days. They're softened up a little bit, still a little green. It's happened over like 3 weeks. I had one a week, and it's like, fucking ears in my throat are itching, man. What the fuck? And I realized it takes, because if you're just eating them all the time and it doesn't affect you all the time, it's hard to find it.
Yeah.
It's like, these are fucking green bananas, man.
Ragweed.
Sure enough, it's ragweed.
They derived the peel to survive the same and grow at the same climate as ragweed, which is incredibly strain resistant from plagues because it's a weed.
Well, speaking of the same thing that you had, Brian, and we're talking about what's wrong with food, I started using stevia in my coffee every morning.
I hope the best for you.
Well, I quit.
Good.
But I started using stevia every morning. Casey's gas station had it available, so that's what I used. Then I would usually have a diet soda mid-morning, afternoon. I started getting ocular migraines.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I hear about fake sweetener.
Started figuring out what the hell's going on. This went on for about a year and started cutting everything out until I got to my morning routine, which I didn't think it would be, which is coffee, and quit the stevia. I haven't had one since.
PSA, Randy's not a doctor, ladies and gentlemen.
I am not a doctor. I'm not saying that's that cutting it out stopped the ocular migraines for me.
Unless people are watching it, they won't understand this fully. But when you call me out for relativism, I'd like to ask you something. When you went for stevia, tying back to what Jason was talking about earlier about caloric intake, stevia was offered as the no calorie, low calorie, blah, 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 blah. And what do fucking Americans attach to? Whatever they're taught. A fucking pyramid, which is now a circle, which is now a square, which is now a fucking...
Diet, 0 calories, low calories.
I can't wait till they have like a food trapezoid and people are like, I can't even say it out loud. I don't even know how to pronounce that word. Gas is phlegm.
One of the big problems with the American diet is, and this stands up if you go anywhere else, okay, is that we maybe this is my anecdotal thoughts creeping in, okay, my habits, eating habits from when I was younger, what I learned from my parents and my family. We eat like we are entitled to be fucking completely fulfilled and satisfied with every meal, and that it has to be delicious. It has to be like flavorful, and
meanwhile, everybody else is like eating for survival.
Well, they eat for sustenance and for fuel. And they rarely is the emphasis on we're going to go out and we're going to have a really extravagant.
So did you know? And I was actually learning this recently from a close friend. It takes 20 minutes after eating to feel full.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And as Americans,
we eat
till we're fucking full. So how do you feel 20 minutes later? You feel like fucking shit.
You're miserable.
Right?
No, we say the same thing. I ate too much.
Yes, you're like, oh, man. But like, if you eat, like, I mean, I did it last night. I've been working on this. My biggest problem with eating is not my ingredients. It's not my food. It's not that. I eat healthy. I eat good foods. I have zero self-control with portion control.
Me too.
And it's mainly because, well, I'm a chef and I make really good food.
Yes.
I love the flavor. I love food. You know what I mean? So when I make something and it's like, it hits my bar or it's even above it, and like sometimes I even like impress myself and I'm like, fuck.
You overindulge.
And then I make my plate. And I eat my plate, and then guess what? Well, I'm the dad, and I'm the one that's gonna clean shit up, and I'm the one that's gonna put the food in Tupperware containers or whatever the hell I'm gonna.
So you pick at it while you're doing that.
The whole time I'm doing that, I mean, I cooked like a 2.5 pound ribeye last night. I mean, this thing was like that thick.
Oh yeah.
Like I ordered these ribeyes 2 inches thick. Like that's how I do. He's like, how much you want them to weigh? I'm like, I don't care. I want them 2 inches thick. I like to cook them a certain way, and I want to slice it. So I had a full meal. And then I start putting everything away, and I'm like, I'll just snack on this ribeye.
Just a couple bites.
Because it tastes so goddamn good. And that's what I like. I'm addicted to flavor. I'm addicted to taste. So portion control has been like my biggest thing as far as being healthy and like, you know, hitting a certain weight. The only other thing I've switched to and done in the last 2 months, which actually amazingly helped, was intermittent fasting. So
which I do.
I don't eat till 11 and I don't eat after 7. Try not to.
I gotta quit the night eating.
When I have good nights and, you know, I mean, my only calories are liquid. Trying to like not do as much of that either after 7, but you know, sometimes we still do.
Hey, here we are at the podcast.
Man,
right?
I will say I have been trying for probably 2 years. I hit 45 last week. So I've been probably trying for like 2 years to like drop some weight, and it's obviously the older you get, the harder it is to have it come off. Dude, intermittent fasting was like instant. It was fucking crazy. I didn't really change my diet because I already ate healthy. I already do eat healthy. I watched my portion control a little bit, and I hit this intermittent fasting, and it was like...
Sorry, guys.
Got my bad.
It was like...
amateur hour.
From February to now, I went back up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Last week was my birthday week, and
It happens.
unhinged. But I dropped 10 pounds from middle of February to a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
but have you always done like the mountain biking and everything, or have you really picked that up more?
No, that's been a constant thing. I'm always at the gym. I was mountain
So
biking, whatever.
that didn't change anything.
No, my workout schedule didn't change. Nothing changed. It was literally just intermittent fasting, and I felt like it was like almost like a reset. Like it was like, hey, this is when your body burns calories. This is when your body burns carbs. This is when your body starts to use things that you have stored.
Oh yeah.
And
when you eat, it screws that process up, man.
Right. And dude, trust me, coming back from the restaurant, hitting home, having people over, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and everybody's drinking, and I'm making charcuterie boards for like 3 people, or I mean, I'm cooking, I'm doing whatever. Like people are over, like let's have a good time. Making like sea bass and tonkatsu rice and like a cream sauce, like a porcini cream sauce.
Sounds healthy to me.
Yeah, relatively.
It's great unless it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
True.
And then it's like that's kind of unneeded, but you're hungry and you're drunk.
Yes.
So why not? Why not go for it?
Well, and that's like between what you and Brian said. I've been training for a race. I've gotten 50 miles in of training this month alone. So that's one thing I've changed. But I saw a clip that really changed my thought process about what both of you said. And you can hate him. I'm not a big fan of the guy anyways, but it was a clip from Andrew Tate. And he said, I don't eat for flavor. I eat for sustenance, and that's it.
Fuel, yeah.
I eat for fuel. I eat for sustenance. So he's not taking the extra time he's not losing time by cooking everything.
Exactly.
And everything he's putting in his body is calculated and thought out. And I've kind of adapted to that. Like, I really need to start thinking about what I'm putting in my body, because I love to cook. And it's all about taste. It's all about the salt. It's all about
you can be a healthy douchebag.
Well, you can. Yeah.
You can be a healthy fucking piece of shit.
Back in the early human days, they ate for sustenance. They ate for survival.
Wait. Are you talking about times of which man was pre-luxury that we live in the technosphere?
Right. Can you imagine the first motherfucker that decided to put some chunk of meat over a fire?
Right?
And be like, preach.
Be like, whoa, that tastes so good, and it's all tender and shit now. It wasn't tender last time.
Right.
That's crazy.
Can I backtrack you one step?
Yeah.
You just talked about the first motherfucker who put meat over a fire.
Okay.
One thing that I love to do, and this is a fun thought experiment.
Oh boy.
If you're a human being, think about before meat, fire, or now, if you didn't have the luxuries of your life that you do. Go outside, kill an animal, and eat it.
Oh, yeah.
How many people are going to die if you have to go outside and find your food?
A lot.
Not me, but quite a few.
The hunters are going to be real fucking popular. That's what
I
bet they could barter for quite a bit of shit.
Real popular, dude.
Where I'm going with this,
like,
though.
If you're a hunter, like, dude, if the apocalypse happens, you're like a hunter, like, your shit.
Oh, you're the king, dude.
Yeah. You're gonna run some shit.
Okay. If you genuinely take all these jackholes away, and you realize that food is required, but
we've made it.
We can go for about 2.5 to 3 weeks without it. We need water.
Yeah.
So let's go back to food. We've taken food from necessary at time, in time as a sense, to a luxury that even you, Jason, no offense, exploit. And this is not in a shithead way, but you make good pizza, and that's an appealing food. And God damn it, I work hard to afford that.
We don't need that food.
But let's be real though. Let's go. What's wrong with food here for a second?
I went with a few people over the weekend to my favorite restaurant in Kansas City, and for our few people tab, it was like $700. And I'm totally fine with it. Because it's fucking delicious. And every time I go there, my mind is blown, and I'm super happy when I leave, and I have zero regrets walking out that door of spending my hard-earned money on what I just ate. I mean, we sit down, the first thing we order is 2 ounces of caviar. Like, sit down, 2 ounces of caviar. I mean, it's like...
Hell yeah.
$80 an ounce. Cool. $160 right off the bat.
So,
like, I mean, I don't care. But, was any of it necessary? Could I have gone that night eating some broccoli and
Let me ask you a question real quick. What do you think the kid in Somalia that was airdropped beans, rice, and the basics that we can also
he was as
survive
excited
on?
as I was.
Yeah.
he literally had as good of a day as I did.
Yeah.
Well, here's something that's
Same
changed.
feeling.
And where I struggle, and sorry to interrupt you, Randy.
You're good.
What's wrong with food is, in my opinion, ignorance, appreciation, and luxury, gluttony, whatever the fuck
you go.
Christian
So,
term you want to
huge
tie in.
thing.
So I want your thoughts on this.
Go ahead.
It's fresh in the head. So remember we talked about Aristotle, balance?
Yeah.
We've lost that.
It's gone.
We've lost that in a lot of things.
It's gone.
Not just food.
Nonsense.
Politics, sports,
I'm on
everything.
I'm on four supported legs
Okay?
of balance
There's
right
no.
now.
What I mean is, there's nothing
We're chilling
wrong.
in chairs right now.
If more people abstractly had the concept of food as fuel, as sustenance, but I'm going to tell you right now, man, unless you're a gym rat or a health nut, you got some of these health nuts who are doing experiments on aging, longevity. Everybody else is just like what tastes good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
and that's what you're going for.
That's it.
Like, what tastes
There's
good?
no willpower. There's no
What tastes
discipline.
good? What do
There's
I
no-
like? And I, honestly, to the point that it makes you feel like shit.
Yeah.
There's a
It
good
does.
amount of people
Absolutely.
that are like,
Eat until I hurt, man.
bro, I make pizza for a living. Like, that's what I do. And that's heavy gluten, heavy dairy.
Yeah.
And I talk to people all the time. They're like, I'm not supposed to have either of these, but I eat this once a fucking week because it's so good. They
Right?
don't fucking care.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's like $30-something
Well,
for a
wait.
fucking pizza, and they're like, I don't care, dude, this is so good. And
I'm gonna
like,
be hurting in an
I'm
hour,
not disagreeing. It is good. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it that much.
That you get to stay open.
How are you
It
going to
is-
be such a piece of shit like
It is
Andrew Tate
more
in here?
important to you to
Shit your guts out
eat
once
this
a
fucking
week.
pizza and shit your brains out than it is to not eat the pizza. I'm not forcing anybody to buy my pizza. Look, someone comes to me like, dude, your pizza's fucking good, but it makes me feel like shit. I'm like, then stop eating it.
Yeah, you should
Like,
probably-
stop eating
But
it. Like,
at-
what are you doing?
But at
other
the
stuff
same
in pizza.
time, Jason,
But they're gonna do it.
Let me ask you a question. Has anyone ever slid you their card and you're like, no, man, this is going to hurt you. It's on me.
Not at all.
Ever. No. Why would you? If you're dumb, that's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
It's on you.
Well, it is delicious.
I
So,
appreciate that.
I don't-
I should have brought one. I don't know what I'm thinking, dude. It's like a good 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
right? Well, you
whatever time of
brought
night
up
it is.
you brought up gluttony, and
down.
I have been sober now for a little over 2 months. Me and my partner, and I realized today the amount of money saved that we would go force ourselves to eat because we wanted to go have a drink.
Right.
So that $150 bill was every time we left the house because we wanted to go have, 2 or 3 glasses of wine each. And then, well, we're out. We haven't ate yet. We just got off of work. So we're going to eat too. And it's usually not the healthiest. So you're throwing shit in your body with alcohol. You're throwing shit in your body with food.
Dinner too, Might as well have another.
Right? And then another.
Let me take that from you for a second here.
I will say my tab is way less when I go out to dinner. I don't. Like if I go out to dinner with my kids versus go out to dinner with my friends, the tab is way less, and it's the same amount of people. We're ordering the same food.
Kids
True.
easier.
But we're
not.
also going now when.
Everybody's not getting a fucking 32-ounce Modelo
Right.
or whatever we're grabbing.
Well, when we go out now, we go out for taste and we're getting more options because the places that don't serve alcohol, we're actually going to now.
You're not worried about the booze anymore.
Well, I mean, think about this. The spices that we're putting on our food used to be currency.
True.
How about
true.
that?
That's true.
A lot of people forget that. A lot of people forget to appreciate what's in their food. A lot of people are so fucking stupid, and I know that I'm ranting here, but when they see cage-free or free-range chicken,
All of
they're
these
like,
labels are
oh my God, do you know how great they have it? They have
All of these labels are jokes.
0.3 square feet per
Organic is a
chicken.
joke. Cage free is a joke. Free range is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
If
Wait.
you're not buying it from a local farm and actually seeing it with your own eyes, those labels are a fucking joke.
Let me tell you an
They're just
anecdotal
a
story.
feel good thing.
Let me
It
tell
is
you an
literally
anecdotal
something
story.
that they can put on the package and
Charge more.
The stipulations put on it are so minimal, and nobody knows that. People are like, "Oh, this animal was cage free." Yeah, or it's free.
It's just a
range.
giant ass
Or
building
there's-
squished together now.
Animal
There's
rights
no
types.
or like,
Animal
you know,
rights types forget
You're gonna
that.
see milk all the time that's like no antibiotics,
kill each other.
no
they kill each
RBST or
other.
whatever. That literally means for the last 2 months it was alive. Not its whole life. Just means the last 2 months it was alive. There's no
Protected.
antibiotics or
Not
anything,
steroiding them up at
so
all.
it should be fine. You're not gonna get any because I mean, Same thing for us, dude. Like, you go get a job, you got to take a drug test.
Mm-hmm.
You got a month or two of shit left in your body, right?
Yep.
So they're like, if we don't give these animals these antibiotics or these steroids or any of this shit for the last 2 months, it doesn't show up if you test this fucking meat.
Mm-hmm.
That's what organic means. It's not actually organic. It's not actually free range.
Wait a
It's
minute.
not actually cage free.
Wait a minute. You're telling me
Yes.
This is the second time he's
that
done that.
people are lied to because
Bro.
they're too stupid to look into it?
Fucking lied to all the time.
Okay.
You mean the businesses fudge on things a little bit to make more money?
All the time.
I want to share an anecdotal
Day
bit
one.
here, and this is travel based. We've been to multiple countries in South America, and we've been to multiple what they call resto bars. And every resto bar in South America is the same concept, which is we have a piece of land, we have cows, we have chickens, we have pigs. This time of year, we have pig and cow available. This time of year, we have chicken and cow available. This time of year, we have chicken and pig available. And they're not afraid to say no because
we don't have it right.
they don't have it.
And then here in the States,
There's
we're
no-
like, we must have all of it all the time, and there's fucking giant farms
Wait a
dedicated
minute.
to it.
Are you saying you know about this too? Jesus,
Yeah,
I thought,
just a little bit.
God, I thought I was the only one ignorant to this shit. When you go and look at the sausage factory of food, and when you think of it as a means of necessity to life, necessary for living, necessary for life, take away water, just look at food. Geopolitically, it becomes pretty fucked up, and we are just as much of a part of it. Everyone is. And that's also the reason that when you go to the grocery store, there's no seasonal watermelon. It's just cheaper sometimes.
Yeah.
We get it. We call it a sale. It's not a fucking sale. It's just not out of season.
Just
and
when-
now there's less
when-
fuckery to get it.
Yeah.
And we don't have a clue. We don't have a clue what they spray on our food. We don't have a clue. I mean, Randy, you drink flavored coffee.
Most people don't care, though.
Wait. Do they not care?
Ignorance is bliss, man.
Do they not care? Or is it when they find out truth, they care and it's what the fuck?
One of the first instances in my life.
I'd say
where,
that.
like,
I'd say that
Because
for the
this-
most part they don't. I'd say the majority don't care.
No, I
think I agree with Brian.
I don't agree. I don't
don't
agree with
care.
it. I'm going to fight you right now. And the reason that I say it is if you...
Hold on. I'm going to stop you. How many people smoke cigarettes knowing that it causes cancer and
argument.
don't care?
No
a
argument.
lot of them.
No argument. But with food sourcing, it has been shadowed. It has been non-public,
Such as those labels that we just talked
non-transparent.
about with the organic, free range, all that, making people feel good.
We
about
have
the
marketed
choices you're
food in a way to, as he said, make people feel good,
I get that.
not real.
But there's a select
Like
few.
if they started putting
Pictures.
the same label on a Diet Coke that they put on a pack of cigarettes, you're still gonna drink it.
yeah,
Yes.
that's my argument. And
Yes.
for Brian.
Yes,
They're still going to drink it.
absolutely.
But
Like it says, this product this product
Contains carcinogens.
Contains carcinogens.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, well, fuck it, I like Diet Coke,
Mm-hmm.
just like a cigarette smoker.
Do you? I mean, I'm not saying that there's not a lot of people that are worried about labels and what they're putting in their body. There's a lot of them, but I'm going to tell you, being around my kids' parents, peers, when I see the stuff they feed their kids, I just don't buy what you're selling, man. I just don't. I mean, and that's true. That's anecdotal, but I think it
A
scales out.
lot of people know, and
pretty
they
well.
just don't care.
Convenience is more important than.
And that's it. You nailed it. You nailed it right there. Fucking convenience.
Absolutely. And that happened to me today. I wanted something healthy. I drove around the area I was
I went
at.
to Quick Trip and I got a roller hot dog.
I ended up with Taco Bell because that was after driving
It
around
is
for
the healthiest fast food chain you can get.
congratulations on getting off Ozempic.
It'll
Yeah,
clean,
right.
it'll clean your colon out pretty well.
It does. That's what I'm saying. You can clean it out real quick. But there isn't a lot of options out there because people don't.
Because
It's not that they don't care. They don't go for those options. They're not profitable.
Even if they do care, it's not profitable. You nailed it. You also just nailed it too. The mix is one of those concepts that like opened It's in Overland Park as like a salad thing, and I think it does fine, but it does fine because of the area that it's in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, they only opened one.
Oh yeah.
It's not like they're a Taco Bell. It's not like there's a mix everywhere you go where somebody can drive through and get a salad. People don't care.
I mean, we just
People
opened
aren't
what
gonna fucking
Kava
drive
here or
through and get a
whatever.
salad.
It's not a giant building that you can seat 50 people in.
No.
It's like 5 people can go
Right.
in there at a time. They have to keep everything small to keep costs down.
Yes.
Well,
And I mean, outside of their price, I do like their food.
Yeah.
They are outrageously expensive, which is the other thing that we can get into, which I will if you want to, which is why does it cost more
That's where
to eat the healthy stuff?
Yep.
wait.
That's why I was going to go with Brian. The socioeconomics of it all is a lot of people feed their kids shit because
cheapest.
they can't afford.
It's cheapest.
And this is where I start to get into the conspiracy shit because now you got the
Wait. You want to dive conspiracy? Let me beat you to it.
No, I want to hear his conspiracy.
I want to beat him to it so that he doesn't have to say it first. People have been conducting gain of function research through food. I believe it.
maybe. I mean, I'm gonna go the obvious conspiracy, which is like, hey, if they feed us straight shit, we get sick. If we get sick, we gotta have insurance. We have insurance. We gotta have.
How is that not gain of function?
That's the hard.
It is.
The hard part is when
It
you,
is.
and I mean this, like, because I'm.
But when you start tying it all together, you're like, dude, like, insurance companies don't make any money if you're not sick. Pharmaceutical companies don't make any money if you're not sick.
Yeah.
Tie it all together, like, let's have the food company keep everybody sick.
But the thing is,
and then they're all sharing, they're all kickbacks. Half of them have.
How is our life expectancy continue to go up though? That's the hard part. Is
our life expectancy
is it a fine balance? Is it to where they're fucking literally if you were eating everything,
Because they treat the symptom.
God forbid, in balance, as opposed to being a glutton or being a complete ascete, like just ascetic and only eating because I have to for fuel.
Right.
There has to be a balance somewhere. But the fact of the matter is, this is one of those topics where it's almost impossible. Man, I'm craving ice cream.
There's a fucking ice cream truck in the fucking microphone.
Is that what that is? Or what?
How is it picking that up? I'm sorry, this is worth the interruption.
I have
How
never-
the fuck
It
is it picking
totally
it up?
picking it up.
These condensers,
Yeah.
they have a lot wider field.
I literally,
They are
this one-
condensers.
I literally
this
thought
one's
I
like
was
right here.
tripping. I thought
There's never an ice cream truck that comes down here either.
I thought we talked so much shit we ended up in a Chinese restaurant.
But no, it's like because obviously the food is
I
getting
traded a pack of Newports for this.
the food is getting worse. The food is getting worse.
And no, it's not
had
getting worse.
Newports?
It's the same as it's been for a long time.
It's what we've talked.
It's the same as it's been
Still
since
choices.
the American Revolution, the Industrial Revolution after World War II, where we created a middle class to sustain.
Yes and no. Yes and no.
Yeah. I mean, there's arguments.
Yes, and I mean, science has come a lot farther, and they've added a whole lot.
But we're
more.
doing
But
like
we never regulated big business out of it, and that's what jumped into the point
yeah.
where you have your Tysons, you have your fucking
Yeah.
your Smithfields.
We got to
And
get
by the
big.
way, that's
we
not
can't
even
make
our
money unless we get big. Unless we're huge, we can't.
But I
make
mean,
money.
look at the chemicals that are being put in.
Look at our country. We're not like other countries where it's like you eat locally based off a local farm. Like you said, beef is available, pork is available, chicken's available, whatever. We're not that way. We're like the entire country wants to eat fucking Raising Cane's all the goddamn
I want
time.
surf and turf every
So
night.
we will do.
We need 50,000 fucking chicken farms.
Yep.
Across the country.
Yep.
Or cattle farms.
Yep.
Or pig farms. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like when it comes to the restaurant, I don't make money sourcing from those places. I just don't. So I can't. So I use my food purveyors. When it comes to my own kitchen at home, I buy almost all my shit from butchers, farmers, and stuff like that. I hit farmers markets. I do everything I can for myself and my children.
Now, can I ask you
If
another?
everybody wants to pay $45, $50 for a pizza, I'm down to fucking go down that road and venture that way. But
Let me ask you the next one then. And this one sucks. This one sucks because what you just said was very real.
no, throw it
And
out there.
I mean, think about this. How much food do we throw away?
Lots.
So much.
Lots.
What
All right.
our
That's a whole
waste
another
level
fun
is a
conversation
completely
I love.
different conversation, and I get that. And I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. I'm just saying,
No.
everyone here
Oh yeah.
knows the waste problem.
Why can't we give it away?
Go on YouTube and look up Walmart throwing
yeah.
food away,
Sure.
and you'll
It's
fucking
insane.
see insanity, absurdity, and amazingly, our food prices are still high. And people bitch about it. I mean, how many people currently? It's 2025. It's goddamn almost May 2025. How many people are complaining about food prices?
I want to know
how much do we throw away?
I want to know how much are you forced to throw away that you would feel safe to feeding your children
at the restaurant.
Yeah,
I throw very little away.
Okay.
We stay on top of our shit. We're responsible as much as we can possibly be. And anything that's getting close gets used for a special. Trust me, things get thrown away every now and then. If
there's no avoiding it.
No.
Are you willing to say no to some dumb shit who wants something that you don't have?
What do you mean?
Like if someone says, "Hey, I want this," and you say, "I don't have it. We can't get it right now. We don't have it."
I mean,
you don't have a choice.
If I don't have it, I have to say no.
Yeah, but how do you
like
how could you possibly react to it?
Voila!
I know you're a good chef, but
how could you
pull shit out of
own
thin
a
air
restaurant still and have to have said no to a customer? Like, I mean, that's a different episode too. But.
Yeah, no, that's a whole nother episode.
Well, but he's
it's like
about willingness to kick.
Let's get back into food. Let's get back into food. Sorry.
I came up in this business under some really awesome chefs. I got taught a lot of really awesome things, not even just from cooking, but from just the responsibility aspect. And I mean, I had this problem with my former business partner because he didn't give a fuck. But dude, like when I look at a case of even if it's coming from Tyson, which sometimes some of my shit comes from Tyson or Smithfield or whatever.
Is that preventable?
But like, say it's a fucking case of wings. I don't look at that as, okay, there's multiple ways of looking at it as a business owner. That's dollars. That's product. That is profit. You know, I spent this much, I make this much. I look at that as, it's a fucking case of a whole bunch of chickens that were alive, that lived. They had souls. Probably, I don't know. Do chickens have souls?
I think they genetically modified souls out of the chickens. Actually, they're just brainless things.
Did, but
depends. Do they have the red crust on top? Because gingers don't have souls.
Actually, they took the brains out of chickens so McDonald's could have more for their fucking nuggets.
The pink stuff. But no, I look at everything, like especially. I mean, not everything. That's how I was trained to look at it. Whereas, like, even this produce, these bell peppers, these onions, these carrots, this, that. Somebody spent a shit ton of time tilling their land, planting that produce. Somebody else spent a shit ton of time harvesting it. Somebody else spent a shit ton of time packaging it. Somebody fucking drove it here to a warehouse, and then somebody from that warehouse drove it to me. There's so much blood, sweat, and tears in every fucking thing you get. And then when you get the animal side of it, they were alive. They were alive. They're not just a vegetable. They were actually fucking alive. They had a heartbeat. And they fucking, I mean, it wasn't their choice, but they gave up their fucking life so I could have a case of chicken wings, right?
Absolutely.
So that you guys can eat chicken wings. And I look at it that way, and I don't want anything to go to waste, like, ever. Because that's the way I look at every single thing. Whether it's chicken, whether it's a side of beef or a pork shoulder or this or that. It doesn't matter how much it cost me. It doesn't matter if I got it for free, which happens in this business. You're like, hey, there's this extra case of this shit on the truck. Do you want it? Just because it was free doesn't mean I'm going to leave it in the corner of the walk-in and let it fucking go bad.
Not use it. Make good use of it.
It's going to get used.
Congrats, you're not Walmart.
Something, whether a special comes out of it or it goes on the menu or this or that. And some of the stuff on the menu has come out of things like that. Like, oh man, I gotta fucking do something with this or it's gonna go bad. And then I do something out of it and people are like, this is the fucking best thing I've ever had. I mean, then the next thing you know,
now you're stuck.
Now it's a fucking menu item. But it's respect. Yeah. And that's what I was taught. That it's respect for that animal. It's respect for someone's hard work. It's respect for, I mean, it's a lot of people's hard work. Like I said, from the person that had the farm to the person that drove it to you and everything in between, it's respect.
Well, that's another thing too that I find it humorous in a non-humorous way. You see the billboards from like PETA. It's like, well, where do you draw the line? And it's got all the animals. Cats.
I mean, draw the line very specifically where I draw it.
I can't prove it, but I may have had some good Mongolian cat before.
We're gonna have to put like timeline situations under the line, because,
right?
Like, I mean, of course, I have like zombie apocalypse. I'm gonna eat some shit.
That horse is going down.
I gotta be honest. Also, if it's zombie apocalypse, I will eat any of you fucks in this room.
Also, I'll make it taste good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There you
And
go.
that's why I'll eat you last.
You make giraffe taste good.
You and I will just keep eating other humans and make them taste good at least.
Man.
I have actually had giraffe before. It is fucking awful.
I've
It is the
had
worst
giraffe.
meat I've ever
had-
tasted in
you're
my
lucky.
life.
I've had a lot.
Your meat's not good.
I've had lion and I've had giraffe.
I haven't had lion yet.
Oh, both are bad.
God.
They are
I actually
awful.
wanted to do like a beer dinner and do like lion ravioli.
That'd be kind of cool.
Just to do it.
But to my point with PETA, you slaughter a cow. How many people does that feed? That
People
full
for
cow.
the eating of tasty animals.
There you go. I mean, you slaughter a cow, you can probably feed 50 people, 100,
Yeah.
with everything that's there for one meal. What they don't think about is how many animals died for that one cob of corn, with the pesticides and the chemicals and the tilling of the ground and you're killing way more animals for one corn cob than you are for one cow.
You see in the West, in the U.S. specific, let's just use the U.S. as a bubble. I love your faith, your optimistic approach that people worry, but all they want are their fucking kids' dino nuggies, dude.
Do you want to know why?
Because it keeps them quiet.
Because parents are held back and they just want to shut their kids up.
It's convenience. It's
If parents had
ease.
if parents had to raise their kids today without the technology that we currently have, they'd kill themselves.
I'd be fine.
Just want you to know, I just
I'm good
googled.
with
Do you
it.
have to?
You're
I hate
old enough.
phones.
I just googled. Do you have to be vegan to join PETA? And you don't.
No?
Excellent.
Just a fact I'll throw.
I
out
love
there
that
real
Google.
quick.
Where I'm going with, if parents had to
I
raise
was
their
just
kids
curious.
without
I didn't
tech,
know.
I don't know how that works, but sure.
I laugh thinking about like the Hazda tribe, you know? Those are the parents that when their kids cry, they cut their fucking eyelids so that the kids' tears sting enough they don't cry anymore. Imagine what you would have in the U.S. if your kid didn't want what was on his plate, so you sliced his eyelid a little bit so that when it cried, your kid learned, I'm going to eat this because it's fuel and I have to.
My kids just learned because I told them you're not leaving the table
You're
until
like
it's
you're
gone.
bordering on abuse
But
there.
that's
Maybe
abuse.
some
Your
therapy
kid,
and shit.
all right.
There's a lot of people that would consider that.
For all of Brian's children out there, I would like to offer the Children's Hotline Services number. It's 1-800-FUCK-OFF.
Go ahead.
Did you have to sit there and stare at your plate?
Yeah.
Hey, but my daughter for Easter made cucumber, pepper, and something salad, and she loved it. And my son and her ended up gobbling up all of it since we didn't go down to our parents for Easter.
Okay. That's
They eat anything. They eat Thai food. They eat ghost pepper sauce.
kids-
Your kids are cool, and you're fucking this up. We're talking about American kids.
All right, and I see this.
They're foreign.
I see this
sorry,
in
that's
the
fine.
restaurant all the time. I see it in the restaurant all the time. It's even my pre-made, pre-frozen chicken bites, which I've made sure are of a decent quality.
Mhm.
A lot of kids don't like them because
They're not shitty
nuggies.
enough.
They're not
Because
shitty
they're not
nuggies.
shaped nuggies, dude.
Okay. Just so we're on the same page,
They're tendies, not nuggies.
I have a friend who
And that's a whole other conversation, man. The difference between chicken tenders and boneless wings, dude, don't get me fucking started.
I want to touch base on that, though. I recently heard
It's just a
someone...
smaller fucking piece. God damn it.
Right?
I recently heard someone with a young child say, we can't go to Mr. Good since they only like Subway. And if you know anything about Subway bread,
Leave your
it's
ass in
not
Subway.
even fucking legally bread because there's too much sugar content for it
Did
to
you
be
know
bread.
Do you know that all of Subway's meat is turkey?
I know that Subway's not a place I go unless I fucking had to.
The roast beef is turkey. All of it's turkey.
Eat fresh.
Turkey.
So,
Eat fresh.
Now they got like foot long nachos.
all right.
Saw that.
They went straight from like Jared going to jail to be like, let's offer everything in a foot long.
Dude,
I mean, if Jared's got to take a foot long, so does everybody else.
Oh God.
all right.
We talked about the first person to put a piece of meat over a fire
Uh-huh.
and how good that must have been. They didn't have salt and pepper. They didn't have seasonings.
Nope.
That was currency.
You get in later times where they had salt and pepper and seasonings. There's actually one of the first like mainstream chefs,
Mhm.
Joel Robuchon, wrote a cookbook, and one of the recipes in his cookbook is on how to baste a live goose, because it was all experimentation. They're experimenting with food. They didn't know. They're figuring it out. this tastes great. If you do this, it tastes better. If you do this dude literally writes a recipe. It's in his cookbook from like late 1700s, and his recipe is like literally like basting the goose's head repeatedly so it doesn't die.
Oh wow!
While he's cooking it in the oven, it's like some fucked up shit. It's some fucked up shit. But he thought the goose would taste better if it was cooked all the way while it was alive. It's experimentation, all experimentation.
Well, that's how we cook lobsters.
But exactly. But we're gonna go back to the first guy that cooked a piece of meat over the fire. It was like that fat broke down. And he took that bite and it was like tender and juicy. It was different. Can we talk about the first guy that drank milk? How did this guy figure that shit out? How perverted is this?
I mean, he had to have some kind of kink going on to.
You know what?
That looks good.
I want to one up you, motherfucker.
Alright.
I want to find out about the first guy who was like, "Ooh, that hurts. I'm gonna get that honey."
The dude, yeah. The honey's crazy too.
The first guy that's like, these stingy motherfuckers that fly and I can't win.
I would actually, and I don't know for a fact, and it's another Google moment, but I would guarantee you that honey has been harvested in human culture long before milk has.
No shit.
That's a guess.
I would wager that.
I know that they found honey in jars in Egypt and stuff.
There's literally videos of like people climbing cliffs to get honey from these crazy ass bees in like, other countries. I think literally like the guy that discovered milk. I mean, that had to be like.
Well, I mean, I
don't know when we got milk
from a biological standpoint.
First guy that was like.
Well,
if you think about it,
though, what's odd about it is humans have been drinking milk as babies.
Yeah,
thousands of years.
Right.
Thousands of years.
And now we find out
not from a cow's tit.
But the thing is, this is what fucks me up because I don't drink milk.
And now we find out, as probably in like the last 10 years, that it's really not good for you.
Yeah, you don't need it.
We really should not be doing it.
You mean rennet, the thing that no one knows about?
And pasteurization guts it of nutritional value if there was any.
Oh, Louis Pasteur, that humble motherfucker.
We really.
I mean, good for him.
You can say pasteurization did a lot for sanitation.
We can go back to the frugivore conversation, eating some meat occasionally. Milk is not fucking necessary, bro.
Right.
Like, we have some fruits and vegetables and some meat occasionally because
but if you ever ate some dry cereal, that shit. It's good in handfuls.
You
also don't need to be eating processed grain ass cereal.
Okay, let's.
You mean processed sugar?
Let's dive into the last bit here where Randy just stepped in shit. Let's talk about cereal, specifically Fruit fucking Loops. Specifically, let's make this political, motherfuckers.
Oh man.
RFK. Yeah. I don't know what. I want to be very clear. He seems kind of crazy, and he sounds awkward as fuck.
I'm down.
But hang on.
Dies getting the fuck out. Everything else that guy says, he's fucking insane.
And that's where I struggle. How can you be so awesome when the New York Times is like, well, he lied. No, he didn't. We have weird fucking stuff in our cereal that no one else does.
Fucking years.
But
it's brighter colors.
They latch onto that and not the other weird shit he's about.
Would you eat flaming hot Cheetos if they weren't bright orange?
Yes.
This is another.
I like hot stuff. I don't care what it looks like.
It tastes amazing.
Tastes the fucking
Give me hot food. I don't care.
I don't care if it's white. I don't care if it's black. I don't care if you open the bag and they look like fucking Chihuahua turds.
You give me
I'm eating flaming hot Cheetos.
Delete this episode because the reality is what's wrong with food is too impossible to cover, and we've just literally wiggle hold all throughout. The comical thing.
Freestyling.
I'm serious here. I know I'm going away from subject, but based off the powder stuff shit, isn't it true, conspiracy, that if Doritos and Frito-Lay and all those companies didn't use the powder, it's actually a texture to keep you eating them rather than the flavor? The flavor is within the chip itself.
Oh, I mean, that's another...
I'd believe it.
It's another trick of business,
I'm
man.
Disagree.
Trick of business.
Just because I've had friends that have worked for
okay
these companies that were chefs that I worked with previously that went on to work for Frito-Lay or Kraft or anything like that, and literally got told, a chef that I worked for a long time went and worked, and he's like, dude, this is pretty fucking awesome. I'm like, what do you mean by awesome? And he's like, there is an entire room full of powdered flavor. Yeah. He's like, and it's whatever you can think of.
I mean, that's the thing. You lick this stuff off your fingers. You can taste the flavor in it.
And that's the reason I hired him, is because he was a chef and they wanted new flavors. And he starts, like, oh my God, you can go over here and get nacho cheese. You can go over here and get fucking ranch, or you can go over here and you can get this. And he told me straight, he's like, there's like pepperoni pot roast. There's like, I mean, literally like every flavor you could imagine that has come from a dish is on a powder in a wall.
Let me rephrase this for a second here.
It's wild.
It turns into the conspiracy was something about the chip doesn't need the powder doesn't need the chip. You're going to eat regardless based off of what they're doing to it in general.
Right.
And it's that these companies have incredible amounts of. Oh well, we're talking about. Okay, let's just label it chips and all of the other hyper processed things. The marketing campaigns that go into them. Let's just bring back milk for a second. We don't need milk. It doesn't build strong bones. It has potential to give you bonus.
Does a body good.
But
calcium's good for you. I mean, vitamin A is good for you if you're drinking whole milk.
Got milk.
Pill too.
Yeah,
got milk. Now that we're in 2025, it was a pretty clear propaganda to push dairy farmers.
They need to sell more milk.
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
and
also, hang on. Wait.
You can go back to that propaganda, and
if
it had
you have
nothing
milk,
to do with milk.
Yeah, altruism.
But if you have milk,
it's not an advertising.
Would you possibly have government cheese?
That had to do with back in the day.
If you have a surplus of milk, would you have a surplus of government cheese?
I don't know.
Technically, yes.
Well, we do.
When that whole got milk,
there's like $1 billion worth of cheese here in our town.
When that got milk thing got pushed on us on TV and everything, there is a huge hit and struggle to the dairy market based on the economy, and they're about to fucking fail. And they went to the government and were like, if we don't sell some fucking milk and shit, like, we're gone.
We need the propaganda.
Wait,
and
are you saying this is fact?
I was like, yes, I am saying it is fact. You can Google.
So I'm not a conspiracy theorist.
Well, I mean, a lot of industries go to the government.
The Got Milk ad campaign was.
I didn't say it wasn't wrong.
Was absolutely 100%.
Well, look at
industry supportive.
Look at Kansas City. Look at how much cheese they have stocked that the government bought in caves. Millions of pounds of it, if I'm not wrong, that the government bought to help the dairy industry out, and it's just sitting there in a cave.
That was the exact same time.
Yeah,
that was during the Got Milk campaign.
So is
that the same time?
Is that the same government?
That's all tied together. Actually, that all is in the same time. It's in the same conspiracy theory, if you want to call it that. Yeah. They started pushing all that shit on TV, the Got Milk campaign.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, I'm 45 years old.
Oh, I remember it.
Guess what? Until I was like 13,
no one ever told you to drink milk.
Milk was not a goddamn thing. And then all of a sudden it was like, Got Milk, and everybody in the world was like, oh my God, we got to drink more milk.
No.
Not the world, United States.
Let me
drink more milk.
Up there.
I'm ready. I want to fight you right now. Not in a bad way, though.
Cornelli.
Your Got Milk was not your fucking issue, was it? Got Milk became your issue when they started throwing Michael Jordan and the milk mustache out there. So every one of your favorite people was Got Milk.
It was a campaign.
Because if your dare agency, if your dare officer came in and said,
so tempted,
drink milk, I'm officer such and such, no one fucking cares. So, the second that Michael Jordan has a milk mustache,
in any fucking way whatsoever, you're only solidifying what I was already saying, which is
just a large campaign.
It was a giant campaign. And like I said, you can Google this. Literally pitched by all of the dairy farmers to the fucking government of like, hey,
please.
It was a bailout. It was a fucking bailout, just like the automobile bailout.
That's what I was gonna say.
Everything else. It was a large
housing market bailout.
It was a large corporation bailout of we fucked ourselves and we need your fucking help.
So
the government was like, the whole industry.
The government was like, hey, guess what?
So to wrap this up,
Michael fucking Jordan.
I want to go on a lighter note. What about foods that go together that shouldn't?
Like peanut butter and pickles?
There you go.
Pineapple and pizza, dude.
Pineapple and pizza.
No.
With white sauce.
I'm going to hit you. I'm fine with it. I don't even care.
Mac hit me.
I'm all about chicken and
Mac
red
ate
sauce.
bananas, but he's like,
Chicken and red sauce, bro.
I never said banana on pizzas. I said pineapple on pizzas.
Might be good.
So the reason I bring this up is because I had an idea. You don't have to do this, but you make pizzas, right?
Yes, I do.
And we have a podcast that's called Something's Wrong Here. I want to challenge you to come up with a pizza called Something's Wrong Here that has ingredients that should not go together on it, because I know you can do it.
He's already got you beat.
I know you can do it.
He had pizzas off menu that were a fucking entire Cuban sandwich.
Oh, I get
for
that.
so long.
But that
Cuban
goes.
sandwiches go well.
But let me ask.
I'm
you a
talking
question.
like bacon and chocolate.
No, let me ask you a
or
question.
I've done that.
Randy,
bacon dip.
Randy.
I've had bacon dip chocolate. It's delicious.
coming at you on this side of the table.
Yeah,
If I said, Randy, here's a Cuban sandwich on a pizza, how would you take that?
fine, because it all goes together. I'm talking like dichotomy, fucked
All right,
up.
So you're challenging it. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to come by it.
He's thinking like chicken and waffles, but make the
No, that
waffles
goes
and
together.
chicken
That's
mashed potatoes.
known to go together. I'm talking like
no, that's a weird.
I'm talking like
combo.
peanut butter and hot sauce. I'm talking like pickles and
I literally
grapes.
have like a peanut butter and hot sauce pizza like right now.
Have you ever had a pickled
You
grape?
have one right now? Are you?
I mean, it's Thai peanut coconut sauce,
Oh yeah.
and then it's fucking spicy, but it's peanut butter and hot sauce. It goes together. Actually, like if I ate peanut butter and apples at home, I put hot sauce on it.
Ooh, I've not done that.
It
So
fucking goes.
Oh,
good
I think the challenge, and it makes me think of this because I thought I was at a beer festival this last week and somebody asked me about like this very thought. It was like, how is it that you could, kind of socially engineer somebody
Right.
to say, those flavors sound absolutely terrible. Why would you ever want them
I'm
to go
gonna
together?
try it.
That's what I want.
Because it's like scotch, like peated scotch. Okay, so you're
Like
like,
what?
it kind of peated scotch.
Oh yeah.
Kind of tastes like ashtray. Kind of tastes like plastic Band-Aids. But it's
Little
so
bit of bark.
delicious. And everybody that's listened to you that's never had it's like, that sounds fucking terrible.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like it's even feasibly enjoyable at all.
So I feel like I do this like kind of often,
Yeah.
putting some weird ass shit together.
Well, you do, and you do it well. That's why I'm saying, like, you come up with that
Have
crazy.
there been any real bombs that were not nearly as good as you thought they would be?
Man, I will say one of the worst selling pizzas.
We're
that I
selling.
Did not think was going to be a terrible selling pizza. I did a Chicago dog pizza.
That sounds kind of good,
fun.
actually.
That's what
Pickles,
I said. I'm like,
tomatoes.
this sounds fucking bomb, you know? I fucking like sliced the hot dogs, put them on, then went through with the pizza, so the hot dogs were hot, and then like added Chicago dog toppings, had like a mustard based sauce. I thought it was great. Apparently, at least some of it.
When did you release it?
That was a few years ago.
No, I mean, like, I would want to know specific because that pizza sounds like a lot of people, especially from this area, would buy it. And the question that I have is, if you released it on the wrong weekend, could it have been distracting?
It was like a prime weekend to do a Chicago dog pizza,
shit.
which is why I did it. And I literally had like a moment on like Saturday night. I'm like, I guess this is where people draw the line.
If you had put
Kinda
Dino
like that
Nuggies
pita.
on there, it would have been better.
Like, I can do some crazy ass shit, but apparently a Chicago dog on a pizza is too far for Lee Summit.
Chicago
Dude.
Dino Nuggies.
Redo it
Hey,
and
there's-
call it something's
alright,
wrong
so
here.
There's a place.
No, he can do better than that.
If you do the social media thing, the Facebook thing, there's a place called Macy's Pizza. They're out of New York.
Okay.
They got Buffalo and New York. And besides the fact of whoever does their social media being 100% completely unhinged and not giving a fuck about what they post, their food in general looks incredible. And they do a great job. But they'll do shit with Dino Nuggies. They do some random ass shit. The posts themselves, that whoever does this, I don't know if it's the owner, I don't know if it's someone like myself that's like a small business.
It's got to be like you.
I'm gonna do this shit. I mean, I read them and sometimes I'm like, holy shit.
Speaking of food and unhinged, did you see the drama that Wendy's caused, where they said send Katy Perry back to space?
Could you send it back?
She was so mad.
Yeah.
The whole other conspiracy theory. I don't think she ever fucking went. But
She shouldn't
whatever.
be afraid of a goddamn thing.
jump
She's an
into that.
astronaut.
I have to bring this
She
up.
is an astronaut.
We're not gonna jump into that.
Did you see the door opening of the capsule
To the-
before the dude came over to open
the
the capsule?
inside?
Yes.
Yeah, that doesn't make any
That's conspiracy.
I mean, it was all a photo
I was
op.
under
That's
the
all.
impression that like
Her
they
hair,
had to have somehow
her hair
they,
didn't fucking move. I mean, dude, there's so.
But wouldn't you have to have an escape hatch? Like if you came down and the inside was on fire and you needed to get out?
There's so many reasons.
Okay, that's
So-
fair. Here's your.
So
then
many
why did
reasons
the guy
to
have
look
to
at that
go
and be
over
like, that's fucking fake.
A photo op.
Why did they yell at him? No.
Because it was Bezos and it was a photo op because he sent celebrities into space.
To be say, hey, I don't think that's right, but that probably is. Honestly, in this fucking world where everything is appearance based purely, it's all aesthetic. It's Occam's razor. That's the Occam's razor answer.
Yeah.
And it's actually probably the Hanlon's razor, which is don't attribute anything to malevolence or evil that you can attribute to fucking ignorant stupidity.
That
dog.
bitch's hair didn't float. That flower didn't die.
I mean, they
There's
just.
a million fucking.
My thing
things.
is,
It's
they
like,
basically went to the, the orbit at best, and free fall back down for a little bit.
All right,
and
we're on a
that's way too far.
We're on a food episode talking about Katy Perry.
it was faker than the moon landing.
But so, you did tie Wendy's into it, which
I did
makes it
tie
about
Wendy's. That's
food.
what put it with the
Wendy's
food,
Made it
So-
food.
Oh, let me tie some other things to food for
It's
you.
a
real
loose
quick based off
association.
of that.
But hey,
right? Let's talk about gas stations and
All right,
sushi.
Let's get a wrap
Yeah,
on this
sausages.
one.
final.
Randy, what do you have wrong with food right now?
Right now, I think we're getting better. I'm seeing definitely back to a no more body positivity. We're getting back to the, hey, being thinner and exercising is healthy. Being fat is not. So I do see a lot of people getting thinner, whether doing it the good way, exercise and eating right, or the way I did it, taking some shots and stuff. I don't have a problem with either way, because if you get healthy, that's what's best for us as a society, I believe. I think we're getting there, but we got a long way to go. And the food companies do not make it easy, because the cheap stuff is the bad stuff.
Exactly. When it costs more to eat healthy is when you know there's some other shit going on.
Brian, what do you got?
I got two things. One is an answer to yours real quick, which is I don't necessarily, as a restaurant owner, I can certainly see that perspective, trying to deal with the supply chain for making food in mass. But one of the things that my wife and I, we always try to eat fairly responsibly. Okay, we don't want to fill our bodies full of shit. We don't do a lot of processed food. Make a lot of things from scratch if we can.
Yep.
And what we've really done is, and of course it's like everything, cheat days are cheat days, but you have those sometimes. But we are kind of gone to this thing where we try to get whatever's the least ingredients.
Yeah.
I mean, and it may cost 50 cents, $1 more, whatever, $3 more, but
Honestly, like your dinner with your least ingredients is going to be a protein,
Yeah.
a vegetable, and a starch.
Yeah.
You don't even need the starch.
No, we don't do starches all the time either. Most of the time it's just protein and vegetables.
Double the vegetable.
Yeah,
do
protein.
two different vegetables.
And I'm really fortunate that my kids both will
I do it
kill
all the time.
vegetables.
Yeah. No,
And they love them.
and we'll go to the grocery store and be like, what do you guys want for dinner? And I'll be like, I'm going to grab this chicken or this
Yeah.
steak or whatever. And I'll have my two kids with me. And one of them was like, I want cauliflower. The other one's like, I want green beans or Brussels sprouts. They love Brussels
I love
sprouts.
Brussels sprouts too.
And I'll do a protein and two vegetables. Fuck a starch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't even need the starch half the time. They do
Yeah.
love potatoes. And if I do potatoes, I don't do French fries. I don't shit like
yeah.
that. Like last night, I quartered up some potatoes,
Yeah.
some red potatoes, and tossed them in some seasoning and some olive oil, and I threw them on the grill with the
Yeah.
steak, and they cooked them
Nice.
the same amount of time. And that's what I mean. All the pre-made meals, I don't care if they say they're healthy pre-made meals, anything of convenience
Yeah.
is not healthy.
Well, it's a very relativistic way of
Exactly.
describing it, right? It's like, well, you could eat this frozen shit. Our frozen shit's way better.
Well, and what's
But
funny
it's still frozen
is
shit.
it's like almost all the shit takes the same amount of time. Almost all the shit takes the same amount of time if you have a little bit of go for it.
Yeah.
You know, if you're okay throwing some chicken in a pan, throwing some potatoes and some Brussels sprouts on a sheet pan and put it in the oven at the exact same time,
Yeah.
in 10 minutes, you have a done dinner that's fresh.
And it's amazing.
fucking good.
And it's really good.
Versus a Weight Watchers meal that has less calories and 75 ingredients.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going wrong.
Yeah.
That's
so
where we're going
that
wrong.
kind of ends up, you talked me right into the second part, which was really that, you said, well, I'll get to it. I think you'll understand what I mean, which is that if you go with those simple recipes to feed your family,
Right.
few ingredients, less processed stuff, I think it can be cheaper, but it's only cheaper because you have to spend more time.
Barely.
So convenience.
And that's the thing is
it just goes back to that convenience bullshit.
Right.
It's like we'll pay.
Yeah. Do you want to throw one container in the microwave and
Yep.
eat 75 ingredients?
But we live in a society now that is incapable of doing that for themselves for the most part.
We do.
Not everybody,
Which sucks.
but
We do. There's also companies that are matching the affordability of Weight Watchers and things like that are getting delivered to your door that combine the two.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, now it's convenient. Now it's convenient to throw the chicken and the vegetables all in the oven at the same time because this company delivered it to your fucking door. And you're going to eat some way better shit. I haven't dug into them, and I can't.
I've used them. I found that as I got busier,
Fresh and things like that,
as I got busier, they are fresh. They are good. They go bad pretty quick.
and that's what I've heard.
I've had a lot of waste with it, so I've kind of weighed out. Am I actually saving more?
So I just go to fucking Costco.
That
It's like, here's my chicken, and here's this and that, and like the way they package it is so awesome because you can cut that chicken into 4 packages. You can put it all in the fucking freezer. You can pull one out. You have your potatoes, and you have your fucking broccoli. As long as you have the discipline to pull some chicken out of the freezer the night before.
Mm-hmm.
You're good to go. I will write those recipes for you. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's where I'm lacking. Maybe instead of like Hello Fresh and this and that.
You just need to make the bearded cookbook.
Maybe there just needs to be a website that says, hey, it's 10 o'clock on Thursday. If you pulled the chicken right now.
Have an app
And then do these 3 things.
that goes off an alarm. Hey, your dinner tomorrow, you need this, this, and this out of the freezer
If you
now.
can do these 3 things tomorrow before you leave from work and then come back and put all this in a fucking skillet, you'll be golden.
You'll be very popular with your kids, which is great.
I can charge way less than HelloFresh does, or this or that, or whatever.
I actually have a suggestion for your app name.
What is it?
You lazy fuck.
Lazy fuck.
Kidsy, what's wrong with food?
Here's some chicken.
I'm gonna go a different direction than all of you. Sorry, weird, shocker.
I'm so surprised.
Brian is weird.
I am
Not
not.
salt enough to put in my butt.
I'm simply gonna leave it at appreciation. People take it for granted that they can get food in this country every day. Typically
That's a big
speaking,
point.
Definitely.
I know that there are people that struggle with that, and I feel for those people. I don't have jealousy for the fact that I can't afford food every day, but appreciation and understanding and ignorance, coming back to it, understanding and ignorance tie together. Appreciation though is significant for me because the simple act of understanding that water, you got days without water before you're gone as a human being.
I'm fully understanding what you're putting down.
And then you've got actually scientifically proven 2.5, 3, and I'm not the scientist to prove it, so I'm going to say multiple weeks before you lose yourself without food. And that, in my opinion, comes very much back to the frugivore argument, very much back to the struggle and appreciation where when you live in a society that is driven off of tech, driven off of everything that we live in and are surrounded by, and we all can't fucking put our phones down for 3 seconds or enjoy a long form conversation. That's when you lose appreciation for what you are intaking. And
Exactly.
that drives a market for the insurance and the big pharma and the craziness, the absurdity.
Exactly.
I really struggle with the fact that people are ignorant to what they put in their bodies, but they also claim that they want health. And that, everyone sees it. Like everyone here at this table has seen someone with a kid that they've thrown chicken nuggets or macaroni and cheese or whatever the kid eats because that's what the kid eats. I'm not here to fucking fight you. I don't have kids. I don't want them. I don't want kids. I don't have them.
Good call.
But
Not a bad strategy.
In a
cheaper strategy, for sure.
But let like in a what's wrong with food form. Let's just be honest. I just fed people who don't agree with me and think that I need to have kids to keep this place going.
No,
I just fed them the what they needed.
And echoing that is, don't take it for granted. Like the fact that I can go down to like Corvino, like my favorite restaurant in Kansas City, with a few friends as a birthday celebration, and literally drop upwards of $1,000 for us to have dinner is a fucking blessing.
I genuinely try to remind myself of that. It literally
is like, oh my God. And once again, like I've said before, that's a small amount of money compared to what I've spent there in the past. I've done their tasting room, and which they don't do anymore, and you walk away spending $1,200 to $1,400, and you're like, holy fuck. But then you walk out the door and you're walking out the parking garage, you get in your car, and you're like, when can we do it again? Like when's the next one? It's so fucking good. And
that drives you to think about how can I make more money.
And that is it's not even that. It's like, it drives me to be like, it's not even like how to make more money.
Yeah. In
my head, it drives me to be like, how can I be good enough to make somebody not care that they spent this much money? But that's me. See, I'm a chef. I mean,
how can I make that experience?
And okay. Oh my God, like I want to be fucking good enough that an individual like spends $1,000 in my establishment in one night, and it's like, that's fucking great.
And
and that's
best $1,000 ever spent.
French Laundry is only like $500 to go through there, like a 5-course tasting. It's
something like that. I mean, if you add the drinks and everything, you're probably upwards of $1,000. But
All right, let me finish up my final here.
Finish your thought.
You're a chef, and I can never knock you for wanting that. But I'm not a chef, and I can never appreciate what I think is $1,000 meal or $1,000 bottle of wine or any of that. Like I don't have the taste buds for it. I think I have good taste buds, and I enjoy what I enjoy. But at the same time, I've always argued there's no liquid worth my mouth more than $100. There's no food, same thing, worth my mouth, $100.
Right.
That said, where I'm motivated
agree with you with
though,
alcohol, I don't agree with you with food, but that's fine.
But I'm not fighting. Don't misunderstand. I'm saying you're a chef. You should be more knowledgeable in this. But where I stand though is, if you have a place that's offering that, I probably wouldn't go as much. And the reason I say it is,
and that's fine.
I wouldn't appreciate it to what it should be. I have allergies and I know that.
Some people don't.
But what I would do is I would try to take my remaining food budget, if I ever made enough, to try and help out those that need it.
And that's fucking great.
And
no, I literally have people.
That's my struggle.
I have these conversations with on a daily basis. One of them is someone that tattoos me. He goes, "Dude, I'm not a fucking foodie. I don't give a shit." And he's straight up about it. He goes, I don't fucking care. I don't give a shit. A lot of food hurts my stomach, and I eat to survive.
Yeah.
And that's his outlook on consuming.
Yeah.
That's his outlook on food.
It's the philosophy, man.
And guess what? There's nothing fucking wrong with that.
Dude, I've never pooped corn.
And that goes back to your previous thing earlier of like, hey, let's just, like, a lot of people, even back in the day, we just ate to survive. We didn't eat for luxury.
Yeah.
We ate to survive. Now we eat for luxury.
Yeah.
So to wrap it up, Jason, what's wrong with food?
Oh, man. This question again.
People.
Again. We have asked you like 3 times.
I know.
You think you would have thought about it by then?
What's wrong with food? Man, I mean, I think we've encompassed a lot of it tonight.
No, we haven't even touched the surface.
Very good job of going around the horn
as
far as what's wrong with horn. I'm sorry, what's wrong with food? We could go a lot deeper into it. We can get into the conspiracy theory stuff that we've touched on the fringes of, as far as like who's backing what and who's doing this and who's doing that. In general, what's wrong with food? Man, we've hit the point where there's just convenience. Mass amounts of ingredients, mass amounts of preservatives, mass amounts of things that are not good for us that we have accepted.
But the FDA says they're okay for us.
Oh yeah, dude. The FDA says it's fine.
Well, I just wanted to
The
say,
FDA
Sponsored by Tyson.
the FDA is completely on our side.
right. I do want to thank Brian for coming.
I got Randy on that.
He snuck in and
Hey, thanks for coming tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
decided to hang out with us for tonight. And Jason, always a pleasure. I can't wait to see what pizza you come up with. It should not exist.
All right, I'll do something weird for you.
Something's wrong here.
Something's wrong here.
I'll call that too.
That's awesome.
Something's wrong here.
Something's wrong.